congratulations to Team Love Me. I thought this was a pretty fantastic screening. Sorry, I was very distracted by I'm comfortable now. I'm gonna ask a couple of questions first to start things off, and then I'll open it up to the audience. Can I first ask everybody to come up to that blue line, please?
Something happens on the blue line?
Perfect. Thank you. My first question is for you, Sam and Andy. I met you over the summer, and you told me a bit about this film, and I wasn't sure what I was going to see. And I guess I'm now, after having seen it, I'm curious if you can tell us a little bit more about, one, how you conceived of this idea, and then your creative choices. If you could explain a bit more about that and how you decided to show this story visually.
Well, we had this idea about a buoy and a satellite communicating the two farthest things from each other, and we thought it was funny. So we kind of delved into sci-fi stuff and read all the books about sentience, and it wasn't until one day that we realized that it was a love story that the concept came into focus, and we were able to write the script.
And I think for us too, I don't know if this exactly answers the question, but when we think about the film, for us it's not really a movie about AI, but it's a movie about us, like as seen through the lens of AI, sort of trying to unpack humanity circa 2024, and sort of, I guess it allowed us as artists to look at the internet with innocent eyes and to sort of see everything fresh without all the lifetime of baggage that we usually bring to humanity.
And we got really excited about the different mediums that we could use through the process. We got really excited about building robots, and we got really excited about using motion capture suits and then animating Kristen and Steven's performances, and we got really excited about the live action and shooting on film, and it was just a way to kind of explore all of the mediums that we're interested in.
And there's an amazing version of the film too, where these guys are in motion capture suits the entire
Doing
time.
a little funny
Which
that
is equally valuable, I think, if not more.
Great.
It's painful that that's not in the movie.
I do want to ask about how did you pitch the film to Kristen and Stephen, and for Stephen and Kristen to ask you, what drew you to these roles?
For us to start, I don't think we pitched the movie to either of you. We just shared the script, and it seemed like we all wanted to make some interesting, cool art. I don't know. I felt like we were kindred creative spirits from day one. So no pitching involved, but I don't know what your experience is. Always one step ahead.
Excuse me. It wasn't like a pitch, I guess. We just read that script, and not to put you on the spot, but you were already attached, and I was like, oh, she's dope. And that's kind of, I was like, okay, cool.
The whole thing just felt like I put acting in quotes. It was like an acting exercise, just like the internet is, just like talking to you right now is. Like just like there was no character there, and so you could play like fucking everyone you've ever met, and then also like all your fears and your like insecurities and like even your ego and your arrogance, like all of it. You just sort of be like how embarrassing it is to have all of those fucking things, and then like show him all of that, not really know how it was gonna be filtered to then you guys. I just knew that it was like just such a cool way into all of our stories. Like it could be a relationship movie, it's just like also self-love, but not in the way that word, like, just pick new words for that. Like, when you actually, like, know, and then you go, oh, I think I've identified a thing, and I enjoy that. But, like, then if 5 seconds later, it's a different thing, and you don't have to feel bad about that, or feel like, oh, I didn't know myself, maybe I'm different. I was like, no, it's, yeah, and then, like, now trying to be with a person, I just was like, this is the most honest relationship movie / just people movie. Wow, that was really God, I'm here.
Sam, were you going to say something?
I think that just also, we were really excited about like exploring self and presentational self. Like how we are, you know, in our bedrooms by ourselves, and how we are when we're trying to control how everybody perceives us and thinks about us. And that was like a major thing that we talked about a lot before we started the script.
A lot of cringe. So much cringe.
Yeah, we were the most embarrassing we've ever been.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And we'll be like super, I think we are presentational to ourselves in our bedrooms. That's the worst part. You know, you're like, oh, this is how I am. Here I am.
These two, though, every day on set just showed up and were willing to just be. I was in awe of how vulnerable you guys were. It's like the first time I read the script, I was like, oh, I'm nervous, like reading in front of you guys. And then you're like, yeah, that's great. That means you care. And it's like, we all
You
showed
guys
up.
are in the movie. Like, I watched this movie and I'm like,
That's
it's
Sam
your
eating
reflection.
octopus.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. We're reminiscing now. We'll take it.
Can you guys all leave so that we can talk?
Stop being weird.
How much time did you guys actually have to shoot?
3 weeks?
We should pass it to Bruce.
Yeah, it was 4 weeks with the actors, yeah, and then we did all that other stuff.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks with Kristen and Steven, and then we went off and shot the buoy and satellite for 2 weeks-ish. And then, you know, 5 years into the process.
And one other big note about the process too, we were really protected by all of these producers, Kevin, Ben, Julie, Shivani, Luca, because Kristen and Steven showed up on set and we gave them all, they had beautiful performances in these motion capture suits, but it took another 1.5 years to sort of translate that into animated form. And, you know, hopefully we got part of the way there. We worked with a tremendous group of animators, Kickstart, but we really needed the protection and a lot of time to sort of find the soul in the animation that was, you know, that representative enough of what you gave us on set. So thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I want to give the audience an opportunity to ask questions. Question over here, off to the side.
Yeah, I was wondering if at any point in the process if you thought of a different title for the film, like Date Night or what, you know, because you go through a bunch of different things. Plan on that.
The question is about the title.
No, we always wanted it to be lovely.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, I love the film, and I'm a huge science fiction buff. And I was wondering what the influences, and I'm wondering if Dr. Who and Amy and the Dallas played anything into this, or if not, are the other influences?
The question is about their influences.
Yeah, the influences for the science fiction part of the film. I mean, we're Doctor Who fans. I think the biggest influence when it came to the science background for the piece is probably, we started with Carl Sagan's Pale Blue Dot quote. And the opening of the film is sort of a direct visual reference for that. And if you guys don't know it, I'm sure everybody knows it, but it's when he asked Voyager to turn around and take a shot of Earth from just outside the solar, as it was leaving the solar system.
It was a big deal. Nobody wanted to do it. They didn't want to waste the fuel. And he said, no, you have to do it.
because it made us all feel really big and really small at the same time. And that was sort of that was part of the creative genesis for a lot of the film, and a lot of the science ideas within the film, and more of his writing as well. But I feel like that was our hope as artists, to sort of give you that sense of awe, where you feel both big and small at the same time.
Right here.
What is the biggest takeaway that you want the audience to leave with about
You can be anything you want to be. And, you know, you can change and you can evolve, and I think the best life we all can live is one when we are loving ourselves.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know if this was something that you wanted to make the audience feel, but I felt like time was such a huge influence in this story, with like the sun expanding, and then towards the end where, you know, they're finally getting so close to being vulnerable finally, but they're just like, do they have time? You know, was that intentional, or did I feel it the wrong way?
No, yeah.
Sorry, the question is about the use of time.
Oh, the question is about time and how we played with the idea of time. Yeah, I mean, one of the first fun things about the movie to us was that it was going to take 10 billion years for the Earth story to play out, but the love story at the heart of it all should feel sort of like new love, fleeting, explosive, fast, immediate. And one other thing about that, our wonderful sound designer Matt brought to us the sound at the beginning. He brought a sound that plays over the opening credits of the movie. That's the sound, that's a simulated sound of the Big Bang by a researcher from Washington University. Yeah, so that expanded the time scale from 10 billion years to 13.7 billion years.
Questioner?
Yeah, I just wanted to know about like building the characters, because obviously a very small cast, and just how like you guys build off each other and just the process.
Originally, we were not supposed to play the influencers that the satellite and Louis based themselves off of. And then merging that required like extra levels of like layers and abstraction. And so it was really fun and intense and all the feelings to like peel back layers between ourselves. And I appreciated Kristen the most about that experience because we didn't have to talk about it. It wasn't really thought out like today I'm gonna show up this way, like half-hearted. It was just like, I'm gonna show up and we'll see what happens. It was really open that way, and so yeah, I thought that's kind of how I approached it. Like Deja and Liam are also living in their abstraction or their choices or whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, it kind of touches all of it.
I think we have time for one more. Yes, sorry.
I have a question for Steve and Kristen. After you guys finished the movie production, you saw it initially, is there a favorite scene in the movie looking back that you would look for?
Do Kristen and Steven have a favorite scene?
I really love when he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, what are we doing? I don't know if I have a favorite scene. I just kind of like see that whole thing and just like, whoa. Yeah, I receive it all.
Kristen
Oh, yeah.
and Steven were like the bravest, most vulnerable duo I've ever had the pleasure of working with. They just like, they just like took risks. They weren't scared to be like ugly or messed up or like stupid. They just like did it, and it made for two beautifully open and emotive characters.
What are you gonna do with all the stuff that really is like hideous and embarrassing?
I have it in a box again.
Burn that hard.
There's not enough in there. You really could have blown
There's
us
none
up.
of it. There's none of it. Because you took that risk, all of it's beautiful.
Thank you guys for coming and watching the movie.